I simply have to cargo climb. I simply must cargo climb. There's no choice. I have to do it. I have to do it. Oh, and I'm right back in it. I'm right back in the what do I even say? Oh, man. So I do think that YouTube has something against Cargo Climb, because Cargo Climb has not appeared in the thumbnail, in the automatically generated thumbnail, 3 times now. It's been 3 days. And we have not gotten this in the thumbnail. This sack has not appeared in the YouTube thumbnail of any of these videos. Oh boy. It's day 4. Welcome to day 4. Oh no. The audio quality is getting better over time as I'm figuring out how OBS works. The commentary quality, I feel, has gotten starkly worse. But that's the thing of it, is that there's this mini game is all that we have to talk about for about... I can't spend another day. I cannot spend another day exclusively talking about how little I have to talk about. I can't do it. I have to find something else. There's some good looking lamps. That wasn't an avenue for conversation. That was nothing. I can't talk about the lamps. What is there to say about the lamps? I can't be doing this. I cannot be just talking about not having things to talk about. But what else is there? It's only Cargo Climb. This is Cargo Climb December. This is all you get. I feel like I'm bad at it today. I feel like I'm not doing a good job. I had a migraine when I was recording yesterday that was pretty bearable while I was recording, and then as soon as I stopped recording, it like kinda hit me like a truck. And I that's what happens when you don't play Cargo Climb. You just get a pounding migraine that impairs your life and vision. Oh boy, So what have we established about Cargo Climb that we haven't talked about yet? We've talked a little bit speculation about what is in this sack. Whatever it is, it's relatively lightweight, or at the very least it's jiggly. It's jiggly like a jello. But whatever it is definitely not fragile. Mr. Cargo Climb does not request of us to be careful with the sack. He merely requests that we get it into his garage. So we have to surmise that whatever is in this bag, it can take a hit or a few hits. But it's very jiggly. It also presumably is pretty top heavy. Like, The sack seems to be the center of mass in this equation, as opposed to the cart. Also, we are destroying the wheels of this cart every single time. Is it a new cart? Are we... Is it a new cart every time we play Cargo Climb? I mean, maybe that's why we get pulled out of the minigame. It's because the guy runs out of carts. He doesn't... This is a limited use resource. Because all we're doing is hitting it with a stick. Well, we're hitting the sack with a stick, but the cart is the thing that's breaking. So... Okay, so maybe what is the thing that's in the sack is replacement carts. What's in the sack now is the cart that the sack is going to be on next time we play. And this is just kind of a cycle that we're doing. We're pushing up a brand new second cargo cart for this man's storage business. But then as soon as we get it up the hill, the first cart breaks. But he still needs two, so he orders a second one, and of course we have to transport the second one using the former new one. And this cycle repeats indefinitely. And then he's paying us. So this is like... Cargo Climb is causing this man financial ruin. Like, he's making no profit off of Roxas's labor right now. The labor itself is not even breaking even. He has to order a new cart. But then he pays Roxas. So... what's this guy's deal? Why is he throwing around his money so willy-nilly? Is my question. What... Maybe Cargo Climb Storage Incorporated is a front for some kind of illegal business. It's possible that Mr. Cargo Climb is up to something. And he needs someone on his payroll who doesn't know what's going on. He needs to be employing some fall kid, some poor schmuck who doesn't know any better. And so he just has this 15-year-old constantly escorting replacement carts up a hill, breaking the first cart in the process, so he has to order a new one. He just kind of has that busy work burning in the background. And then if he ever gets caught out for the illicit activities that he's doing, somehow that plays in. Roxas can be some kind of fall guy. Roxas can take the blame. So he doesn't know anything. He can either take the blame, or he can be an alibi. It would probably be more like he's an alibi. Like, this kid, he's on the payroll, and if he got questioned, he would literally know nothing. He'd be like, no, I moved up a cart and I don't know what's in it. Although, just because we don't know what's in it, does that mean Roxas doesn't know what's in it? Does Roxas possibly have more... Oh, for some reason that makes me so mad. The idea that Roxas, who I'm looking at right now, I cannot talk to Roxas through the screen. I can't ask him these burning questions. But I can see him, like, right there. I can't reach out to him and ask him, hey, what's in the bag, buddy? And he might know. He might, like, look me in the eyes and tell me that it's marbles. but I would never, but unfortunately the bounds of reality and fiction are such that I cannot personally ask him. I know Roxas exists. That is a element of the reality fiction barrier that I am personally equipped to cross, right? I am sitting in reality and I can peer into the world of fiction. Roxas cannot do the same. Roxas does not know Dakota. Roxas doesn't understand who I am, and he might not care. It wouldn't be super foreign to most. No, that's not true. It wouldn't be super foreign to some characters in Kingdom Hearts that there is another world out there, because Kingdom Hearts has a lot of that going on. So like Sora, if Sora found out that I personally existed, he'd probably be like pretty unfazed by it. But I don't know if the same is true of Roxas. But of course I can't talk to her. It's possible that Roxas does know who I am, and that it's just not relevant to the events of Roxas's story that I can see. Because like I can't see, there's a lot of cargo climb that is off screen, right? Roxas presumably applies for this freelance cargo delivery job every single time he does the minigame. So that means a conversation where he's showing Mr. Cargo Climb his CV and talking about his experience, including his experience doing previous stick and trolley cargo work, and saying, hey, I can do this job for you for 50 money. There's so much that happens off screen, which means, you know, it's possible. It's possible that Roxas has a similar window across the reality fiction barrier that I do, and that just doesn't come up because it's not relevant. You know, because not every moment of my life I'm talking about Roxas. It is a lot of moments, but it's not every moment. And so if Roxas's interfacing with reality mirrors my interfacing with fiction, then I might not know that he knows, and he might not know that I know, right? But then the question is, like, I am broadly aware that I exist in reality and that Roxas exists in fiction. Does Roxas have the same understanding? Would Roxas say, yes, I live in fiction and Dakota lives in reality? Or would he say that he lives in reality and that it is I who live in fiction? Am I a video game character to him? Are we mutably fictional? I don't think so, because I do think that there are like physical differences between reality and fiction that make them distinct categories of thing, right? And so I don't think that like the world that Roxas inhabits is exactly physically like the world that I inhabit. So it's possible that Roxas, like, he might not understand himself as fictional the way that I understand him as fictional. But he probably has some different metric for interpreting the nature of his universe versus the nature of mine. Again, assuming that he knows that my reality exists. And so, yeah, maybe that's the situation. You know, for all I know, I mean, there's definitely rote tasks that I do repeatedly on a regular basis for a reward, right? I have a job. Perhaps some element of my job, you know, is cargo climb to Roxas. Or perhaps it's a totally different way of interfacing with my reality that I wouldn't understand, right? Because, you know, I live in reality. I know how to engage with fiction, but I don't know how to engage with reality as if it were a foreign thing. I don't know what form that takes. You know, when I interface with fiction, I do it through media. I do it through story. I do it through a video game. I do it through a movie. I do it through a novel or a song. But I don't think that I exist in a video game or a movie or a book or a song in Roxas's world. If there is some way for his side of the barrier to see my side, it probably looks like something I would not... 12 seconds even, that's cool. It probably would not look like anything that I would be personally familiar with. And unfortunately, the minds of Square Enix, who provide this sort of Stargate into the world of Kingdom Hearts, have decided that it's simply not relevant to the story of Kingdom Hearts to elaborate on what form that takes. So it could be anything in our wildest imaginations. I think I was talking about Mr. Cargo Klein possibly being some sort of Walter White-esque meth lord. I think that's where I was leading up to, is the idea that it is drugs, that this is about drugs. And you know, maybe I have some sort of implicit cultural bias, you know, living in a post-Breaking Bad America. I see someone getting paid on an individual basis to move merchandise a very small distance by cart. And I think, oh, yeah, no, obviously that's meth. because it's so often meth in the media that gets consumed. But then you have to ask, like, does the structure of Kingdom Hearts allow for methamphetamines? Because this is ultimately a Disney crossover game. And like, sure, a Disney movie might be, you know, able, like Zootopia references Breaking Bad, right? Disney is not averse to a reference. But they can't just have like hard drugs in Kingdom Hearts. Would it be kosher for them to imply hard drugs without necessarily presenting them? I don't know. But is there some, because of Disney's presence? Hold on, I have to cough. Because of Disney's presence, is there some kind of inherent inability for this world to hold the concept of meth? I mean, perhaps the reason we don't know what's in the sack is because the thing that's in the sack is supposed to be meth. But this universe does not allow for meth to exist. So it must be hidden. It must be a nondescript bag that cannot be opened by anyone or anything, because the thing that it is supposed to have in it is not something that is allowed by the surrounding universe. And if that's the case, then Mr. Cargo Climb is in some real big trouble, because he's trying to sell meth, but he doesn't even know what that is. And the universe that he lives in does not allow for it. So he is really just burning money time and time again on this cargo duration. Just repeatedly burning money. every time the cart goes up the hill, the garage has to be closed. The garage cannot be left open because the world cannot see what's in the bag, because the world cannot allow for what's in the bag. Mr. Cargo Climb walks into his shop and despawns. I need to load my save because we're 20 minutes in. What? It's locked and won't move. What mechanism on this thing locks? Is it the wheels? Okay, we can actually explore this world. We can talk to Mr. Cargo Climb. What do you have to say? What do you mean no one's come yet? But it's been 4 days. Large? He has to move those items. Large items could fit in the garage. It's not meth. It's not meth, because you would not call... If this bag just had a bunch of loose meth in it, you would not call it a bag of items, and you definitely wouldn't call it a bag of large items. This is valuable information. This is such valuable information. We have learned so much, and yet I feel like we've been kicked so far. Where am I going? We've been kicked so far back down to square one because I have no more conjecture. I have no ability to comprehend what I just learned. Cargo Climb is a game of many revelations. OBS does not like it when I boot to menu and decide that the window doesn't exist anymore. I don't know what's causing it to do that. But, it's fine. I can set a new window while it is loading and it works. Wow. Those items. He needs to move those items into the garage. So, the immediate possibility that crosses my mind is the idea that those items simply refers to the cart and the sack. And I guess we haven't considered the option that it's not a sack of something. That this thing on top of the cart is not a container that holds something else. It is a entire object. What object would have the properties of a sack full of stuff without being a sack full of stuff? I don't know. Large items could fit in the garage. We're learning things on Cargo Climb December. We're learning so much about the world. Oh. So it's definitely, we have definitely, it cannot be meth. If he needs to move those items into the garage, then it's not meth, because he wouldn't use that verbiage to talk about meth. What are those items? Because the bag jiggles. It jiggles as if there's either like a lot of little somethings in it, or one big loose something. But neither of those qualify as those items. Unless those items really are the cart and the bag. I'm losing my mind. Okay, so, okay, this is a puzzle. We have to figure out what's in the sack. Those items, large items. So what I'm thinking is that this bag has a few big things in it. They jiggle, but they're heavy and they're big. What jiggles but is heavy and big? A body? A human body? Is it full of bodies? What jiggles but is heavy and big? I can't think of anything except for like a corpse. Or maybe like an animal. It doesn't have to be human, it could be a pig. This thing could be, it could be meat. It could be meat. Is it meat? If that thing's just full of ham, that's an item. You would call that an item. That would jiggle. That would be big, that would be heavy. Ham qualifies. Ham is cargo climb compliant. A dead human body is also cargo climb compliant. It would not be a live human body because live humans yell when you hit them with a stick. And whatever in the bag doesn't do that. Those items. I mean, meat is the first thing that comes to my mind. Ham is kind of a disappointing answer. I'm not gonna lie. It feels like we were talking through such a mystery. But then the mystery was just ham. And ham isn't mysterious. It's just meat that tastes bad. That's all. What else? What else is cargo climb compliant? What else qualifies as a number of large, heavy, jiggly items? Now the other thing it could be, I mean, it could be produce. Like, okay, Mr. Cargo Climb could be a grocery. No, but if it's like, if this thing is like full of plums themselves aren't large, but large fruits and vegetables don't tend to be jiggly. Like a watermelon is firm. And also, if you have fruit, you don't want to hit that with a stick, you'll bruise it. You don't necessarily want to hit ham with a stick either, but it's not the worst thing you can do to it. I'm beginning to think that the only thing that makes sense for this to be is ham. But this guy doesn't look like a grocer. He looks like he's some kind of mechanic. Like, he looks like he's working with tools. Like, I'm assuming that Mr. Cargo Climb works in shipping. That, like, he just has a disconnected garage. It's a garage that isn't connected to another building, and it's just labeled garage. So what business does this guy run? Because that makes it sound like it's a front for something illegal. But we've established that it's not meth. I mean, we have not established that it necessarily isn't dead bodies, but I don't want it to be. To me, that feels very MatPat. That feels very... The companion cube has a dead body in it, and I don't I don't want to go that direction in my theorization. But I mean, if the evidence points to it, what evidence makes me think that whatever's going on here is illegal? It's the fact that he's being so nondescript about what's in the bag, that he's just calling it those items. It's the fact that he is individually, repeatedly paying the same person over and over again to haul merchandise a very short distance on a don't ask, don't tell basis. Like, Roxas doesn't need to know whatever's in there. It's the fact that the place is just labeled garage and doesn't seem to be connected to an external building. It's just a garage. We're gonna figure this out. We're so going to figure out what's going on. Because I do think that there's a conspiracy going on here. I think that something about this situation smells a little bit rotten to me. Looking for someone to carry some stuff anyone will do. Needing a strong back. This dude's doing something illegal. This dude is doing something illegal. But what? If it's not drugs, what else is against the law? And like, not just American law, because these people don't live in America. They live in Twilight Town, which I think is probably a self-sufficient municipality. Like, I don't think this town is connected to a nation. Well, we've reached 30 minutes, and that means that it's the end of day 4 of Cargo Climb December. We're gonna figure this out, guys, because there's something going on. I'll see you next time. Bye, I love you.